Happy Wednesday morning to you, Crosspoint Alliance Church. Hope that you're well, resting in Jesus, hearing from Him, and feel free to pause the video to connect with Him and just consecrate the day to Him if you haven't already. Hey, I want to talk to you this morning about the vision items that I mentioned in the annual meeting on the last Sunday in January. Okay, so there were 3 items that we talked about. I'm going to go through all 3 of those and give you the follow-up to them and then really develop number 3. Number 3 is the one that had me most intrigued and excited. They were all exciting, but so number 1 was a vision trip to Japan. Okay, a vision trip to Japan. The purpose of that visit was to hear from the Spirit and discern whether we believe that there is a partnership opportunity for us with the field of Japan. The team did its work. They made an official presentation to our elders last night, and we are pursuing next steps. Let me just say right now, it has not been fully developed. The team felt very good about what they saw, about what they experienced, and the connections that were made. So the future, again, is still being developed, but a partnership would take our focus from all the world to dial in on Japan. It may have been an odd gesture here on a video call, but what it would do is give us rails to run on and a specific focus for missions. And that will be more developed in the future. But we're pretty excited about the opportunities that this might afford for us and the construct that it will give us for a focus on mission. So number 2 was the peacemaking training offered on April 1. I loved it. I am super, super excited and in support of peacemaking training. The primary thing about peacemaking that I like is that it's so biblically based. So I like to say it this way: conflict is inevitable, but ruptured relationships are not. And peacemaking training, and those who were there, I think most of the folks that I talked to that were there were like, man, I wish the whole church were here, because it was so good. It was so good. So I think, like Jesus said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. So the construction of peace is very difficult yet spiritually intensive work, and it makes for kingdom citizens. So I'm going to develop that more later in the summer. But for now, I want to hit the 3rd point. So the first point was a vision trip to Japan. That has been done. The follow-up work is now underway in developing a partnership agreement and exploring next steps. Number 2, peacemaking seminar, peacemaking training. That has been finished. I'll follow up on that later in the summer. Number 3, you will remember, if I can just refresh your memory, that for years, we have done summer evangelistic initiatives aimed at reaching children. And some of you that are newer, and I would include myself in that, newer in the broad sense of the word, we're not here in the heyday of 5-Day Club, when more kids were at 5-Day Club than were coming to church on Sunday. That's a big deal. Okay, that's a really big deal. So as time has gone on, that wineskin, and a wineskin is a ministry tool. It's just a program. It seems that maybe it has kind of seen its day, and so we're still burdened for children. We're still burdened to do evangelism, but it's 2023, and so we looked at doing Beulah on the Road, which is a mobile camp. So their camp comes to you, and they run like a day camp. They provide all the teaching, all the leadership. We provide the construct, the building, the grounds, and then we bring the kids in. Well, we planned on it. We talked about it. I really wanted to do that, but the answer came back no about 2 weeks before the annual meeting. And that was a bit of a downer initially. And then as I thought about it, I thought, I think God is giving us a wonderful opportunity to go back to the drawing board and seek His face and inquire, like, Lord, what is this? We did that. And you may remember I mentioned to you that one of the exciting parts of that to me was the process of our body going before the Lord, talking, praying, brainstorming, and rethinking evangelism, summer, children. And so we did that. So February the 28th, we met in room 5. A number of people there. I think we had maybe 17, 18 people. We had elder representation. We had staff representation. We had a good diverse group show up, age, demographic, for that discussion. And we had a lot of good ideas were thrown out, and there was some analysis of our body life and how we're doing as a church and initiatives. And so we had a number of things that were put on the table. And so we compiled all those results. The elders have read over that, have prayed and studied over that. And so we kind of view it as our job to interpret the data. And it was a lot of healthy, good, honest data. And so having read the feedback and the creative thoughts, we came up with some goals out of that, because out of that feedback came both need and missional desire. So here are the goals that we came up with. Number 1 was our body needs fellowship. Say, well, how's that related to outreach or evangelism? Hang on. We believe that we need more time together to love on each other and do face-to-face. And we're doing some of that in life groups. We've got 3 life groups that are up and going. But we really do well when we have potlucks and when we just sit down and eat together, love one another. So that was one value, one goal, fellowship. But a second goal that we wanted had to do with equipping. So we also, if we're going to do something, we want to equip the body, tool the body for living in today's age. But number 3, we also had evangelism goal. So that came out of the feedback from the focus study. And you may look at that and think, well, these are incompatible. We believe that they are compatible and that we can actually move forward with initiatives that can meet all 3 of those goals, okay? So what we were doing, you can mark your calendars for this, but we're on 3 nights of this summer, we're going to have what we call family fun nights, okay? Family fun nights. And the goal of these is to fellowship, equip the body, and do evangelism, okay? That our word is engage on our banners, but we want to engage people with the gospel in that. So here's what we're thinking, and here's where we're at. Date number 1 would be June the 9th. Okay, that's the second Friday in the month of June. The second date is July the 4th. That's an easy one. July the 4th, fireworks. We often open up our grounds for the community, and we want to tack on to that. So July 4th, that's the second date. Date number 3 is August 4. Okay, so June the 9th, July the 4th, and August the 4th. So what will this look like? Well, some of it is still being developed, but what we want to do is mirror something of a 5-day club finale and make it easy, make it accessible, make it fun, make it engaging for the whole family. Okay, so the whole family. So we'll have food. Okay, we'll have food. There'll be hot dogs, there'll be hamburgers, there will be other side dishes, main dishes. And in addition to that, there will be a time of equipping. Okay, so in the first session, we were looking at doing some equipping in the area of finance, teaching Christians how to manage their money, especially younger believers and young couples. Okay, but be any age. Okay, teaching people how to manage their money. It'd be like a 20-minute talk. Okay, number 2, the second night, we want to maybe do a panel discussion where we have parent teams up in the panel doing Q&A. and answering questions, taking questions and tossing out answers on how to parent. Okay, so this will be like a panel discussion. That'll be like 20 something minutes, and they'll basically just field questions. We'll have a moderator to help kind of work that. And then the third subject that we're looking at on the third time is career development, how to plan out a career path. So, but those are just a couple things. We'll have some bouncy houses for the kids. We'll be doing kickball, ultimate frisbee, and maybe have some face painting, just some fun stuff, some fun things. But the goal here is to make this family friendly and also something to which you can invite families and friends that you know to enter into family. And this is that's the evangelistic part of it. I believe we can do these things together. Sometimes we think things are mutually exclusive, and they're not. You can do more than one thing at a time. So our goal here is to make this family friendly and family accessible. More on that later, but I'm pretty excited about this. I really am. I think this would be good for our fellowship, and I think this is the surprise that the Lord handed us and that He is sending our way. So that's all for now. So you'll hear more on that later, but for now, let me pronounce a blessing on you, okay? Lord bless you and keep you. Lord make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen. Crosspoint, love you and see you soon. Bye.